DC News Now. We're talking about a warm start to the day out there, 50s to low 60s right now. And we're going to be making a run yet again into the 80s later on this afternoon. Could be breaking some records as well. More details coming up.
And new this morning, a toddler is dead after being bit by a dog in Maryland. Police are investigating what we know this morning.
Plus, we're learning more about the indictment against former President Donald Trump. Hear his response next.
And new details in the death of 17-year-old Delanio Martin. We're breaking down the body camera footage that came from that day. That's coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, it's 6 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey James.
And I'm Tosa Fakile. Good morning. I'm in for Tanaya Wright this morning. We're going to start you off with a live look outside. That shot is beautiful, but my God, it's going to feel like summer in April. Jackie, we're going to break records close to, right?
Yeah, potentially breaking those records later on this afternoon. As long as we do hit 86 or higher in the district, that would mean that we have broken that old record that was set back in 1910. Going to the high, a forecasted high of 86, so we could be potentially tying it too. But in terms of temperatures out there right now, we're talking about 50s to low 60s. Currently 61 in DC, 62 in Fredericksburg. We're 56 right now in Hagerstown, right around 50 in Martinsburg. But overall, a very warm start out there. Visibility has been reduced in spots, down to about 4 miles in Frederick, 7 in Westminster. A few splotches out there across parts of West Virginia as well. So something to keep in mind that we could be dealing with a few of those areas of low visibility with some of that patchy fog developing through the morning. But then we should be A-OK later on today under mainly sun-filled skies. Radar out there right now watching some severe thunderstorms back out towards the west, and that cold front will be approaching our area tomorrow, and that'll be firing up some thunderstorms across the region tomorrow afternoon. Today, though, much of the area is dry, aside from a threat for a few of those spotty thunderstorms off towards the north and west, mainly north and west of I-81. We'll see those high temperatures mid-upper 80s later today, along with a little bit more of that humidity today, so certainly will feel like summer out there. More details coming up. Shanika's here with a look at the roadways. How's traffic?
Well, you know what? It's normal, Jackie. It's looking really good. A lot of things out there really not causing much of an issue. The Capitol Beltway past Landover Road is looking good. So if you're in Howard County, Columbia area, watch for a closure. We have a water main break. That's off of 103 heading northbound right between Old Montgomery Road and Kerger Road. Expect delays in that area for the better part of the morning. Then DC 295 is starting to slow down. You're seeing some red there, but look at the Capitol Beltway. Overall, you're quiet, guys.
Good news this morning. Well, your time 6:02 on this Wednesday morning.
And your Don't Go headlines. Investigators in Maryland are looking into the death of a 2-year-old after police say he was bit by a dog in Brunswick. Authorities say it happened last night. Now, he was airlifted to the hospital where he died.
And we're learning more about the events leading up to Roy McGrath's death. The Washington Post now reporting McGrath died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after a traffic stop in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's after a 3-week-long manhunt to find the former aide to former Governor Larry Hogan. McGrath's attorney says he felt he had been destroyed and betrayed.
U.S. Park Police releasing body cam footage from a deadly shooting involving 2 officers. Now, authorities say they found 17-year-old Delanio Martin in the front seat of a stolen car. When they approached him, Martin then drove off with an officer inside.
And former President Donald Trump has pled not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records made against him by a Manhattan grand jury. Trump was in court yesterday to hear the charges. He traveled back to his Florida home yesterday evening, where he once again denied any wrongdoing.
Time right now was 6:03. A tragic story out of Frederick County, Maryland. A toddler is dead after being attacked by a dog yesterday. DC News Now's Lex Warris is live in Brunswick this morning. Lex, this is just tragic. What happened?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And we're still working to put the whole story together. But we do know that a dog bit the 2-year-old boy and that bite was a life-threatening for this little boy. Now, the original call came into Brunswick Police around 5:15 in the afternoon. They were originally called for a toddler having cardiac arrest. Now, they say that when they got here and first responders were working to tend to that bite wound, that is when the child started having a heart attack. They airlifted him to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. That child and their family live in Fauquier County, Virginia. Now, as far as the dog right now, they are with the Frederick County Animal Services or Animal Control, and the dog is put under quarantine. We are still waiting to get some more information from police about exactly what happened and what led to this dog biting that toddler. Of course, once we get more information, we'll bring it to you both here and online. For now, live in Brunswick, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, Lex, thank you. Your time right now is 6:04. D.C. police are investigating human remains that were found yesterday afternoon. Authorities say they got a call just after 3:30 for an unconscious person near C Street and Southeast. Officers say when they arrived, they found the remains of a body instead. D.C. police are now working with a K-9 unit from Montgomery County to further investigate.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
And that's former President Trump now responding to the historic case against him brought by the Manhattan District Attorney. Inside the courtroom, Trump pled not guilty, as expected, to those felony charges. The former president faces 34 counts of falsifying business record. It stems from alleged hush money payments of about $130,000 to former adult film star Stormy Daniels in relation to the 2016 elections. Now, prosecutors are trying to prove the payment was an illegal campaign contribution to secure Daniels' silence about their alleged affair. Trump denies the affair and that there was anything wrong with paying attorney Michael Cohen for making those payments to Daniels. The Manhattan District Attorney says otherwise.
The participant scheme was illegal. The scheme violated New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means.
The 45th president of the United States is expected to be back in court in December. And of course, we will keep you updated on this historic case, both on air and on our website, dcnewsnow.com. Corey?
All right, Tosin, thank you. 6:06 is your time. New details this morning in the death of Roy McGrath. He was the chief of staff to former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. Now, the Washington Post reporting that McGrath died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in Tennessee. He had been on the run for nearly 3 weeks. According to the Washington Post, a law enforcement document revealed McGrath shot himself after a traffic stop. More than 20 days during that search for McGrath began when he failed to show up to court in Baltimore last month. This charge after he was charged with fraud and embezzlement. Now, it all stems from when McGrath was the executive director of the Maryland Environmental Service before joining the Hogan administration. The former aide's attorney says McGrath told him he felt he had been destroyed and betrayed. Former Governor Larry Hogan responding to the news of McGrath's death, saying in part, quote, he is deeply saddened by this tragic situation. Time right now is 6:07 this morning. We're getting a look at the body camera footage from a deadly shooting involving 2 Park police officers.
Yeah, last month, those officers shot and killed 17-year-old Delanio Martin after responding to a call for a stolen car. Our Randy Bass is live at police headquarters in Northwest with that video. Randy, tough for people to watch.
Yeah, Tosin, exactly like you just said. A warning to viewers at home who may find this footage difficult to watch. That footage begins with 2 Park police officers responding to a call for backup after they heard over the scanner that they had found a stolen car in Northeast. Shortly after they arrived, they saw Martin in that car sleeping with the ignition turned on. That car was running at the time. Officers on scene start divulging a plan on how they are going to try to arrest Martin, take him into custody. They ultimately decide that they're going to go in through the back passenger side door of the car and kind of sneak up on him. But DC police officers on scene had words of advice for Park police officers who also responded to that scene.
Stop, man, just let me out. Let me out. Stop, stop or I'll shoot. Stop. Shots fired! Shots fired! Don't move!
And as you just heard moments later, an officer does just that, climbing into the back seat, shouting police. Martin takes off with 1 officer in the car, and another officer was dragged alongside it. The officers shoot, and Martin crashed into a nearby house. According, though, to senior district officials, it is DC police practice to not get inside suspect vehicles, and no DC police officers got into the car. Park police couldn't comment on its practices, though, as the shooting is still under investigation. DC police handled the initial investigation into that shooting. It has since been turned over to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Right now, the U.S. Department of the Interior is handling the investigation as well. In Northwest, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Thank you for breaking that down, Randy. Well, happening today, students across the country will continue their demand for action against gun violence with a national school walkout. Now, today's walkout comes after that shooting that happened at a Christian school in Nashville last week. That took the lives of 6 people, 3 of them children. Now, the coalition Student Demand Action called for students and staff across the country to organize a walkout at their schools. A student at Trinity Washington University says her and some classmates will be taking part in that walkout. The senior at the university says gun violence has impacted her and her family. And with a month left to graduate, she's hoping she can do that without fear of a shooter on campus.
I have a month left to graduate college and I want to get there. Our lives are at risk. So we're coming together because this is a way to let them know that they need to divest from the industry, because we should be able to feel safe to learn instead of hiding from bullets. Because now we're not even sure we can go to college anymore. We're not guaranteed that. We're not guaranteed going home anymore.
And volunteers with the coalition say the walkout will happen at 12 o'clock today. And Celeste, you just heard from, says they'll be wearing orange, a color she says is a symbol for gun violence prevention. That video you're seeing right there is interaction with 2 Tennessee lawmakers. Meantime, fallout continues in Tennessee after thousands of students walked out of class to advocate for gun reform. Nashville State Representative Justin Jones recorded this video you're looking at. Jones says he was recording the protesters when fellow Representative Justin Lafferty pushed him and grabbed his phone. Now, Jones is one of 3 members who joined the protest this week and are now facing expulsion from the Tennessee State House. He says they have already lost access to parking, legislative building, and were removed from their committees. He's now urging his colleagues to listen to those protesters.
They're going to have to answer to all these people in here. This is about people power, and that the voice of the people will no better be silenced no matter what happens. This is what democracy looks like. This is why we were speaking up for the people. All these people are demanding us to act.
A hearing to remove the politicians from office is scheduled for tomorrow.